take a look at the very latest, the 10 o'clock advisory as the storm is slowly trying to push, or maybe Louisiana is trying to push it away, as Bertha is right along the coastline, at least the center. You could see from satellite the brighter cloud tops are all offshore. The center trying to make its way toward those bigger thunderstorms, but again, dry air and wind shear generally keeping them away from the center. So that's good news, as it will be back out over the Gulf waters briefly before making its way towards southern Texas. And that timing, probably sometime late tomorrow afternoon, evening. Again, center of the storm. This is what Houston would like. It moves a little bit closer to Galveston Bay, which will keep the worst of the storms down south, more toward Corpus, kind of between Corpus Christi and Brownsville, as most of the strong thunderstorms are still well removed to the center. We have seen some activity near the center, but they remain kind of shunted off to the southwest because of that dry air. So kind of looking at the tropical forecast model here of that rainfall. Again, there goes the center up toward Houston, Galveston. Most of the thunderstorm activity kind of follows behind between Corpus and Brownsville later on, late Thursday, more so maybe even into early Friday. Wind shear and dry air have played a major role in thankfully keeping this as a much weaker system. In fact, we're still getting in on some of the rainfall now on the eastern side of it, which had not really seen much rain at all. This is probably the heaviest of the rain we've seen so far today. Kind of a solid little line that continued from Thibodaux up toward the city, now moving more toward the river parishes. And I'm saying it's heavy in comparison. This is nothing intense at all. In fact, as we were just talking about the flooding that we saw on July 11th, that summertime thunderstorm brought us more rain than Tropical Storm Bertha is. Still a few little light sprinkles, and they will likely be with us off and on through the night tonight and even into early tomorrow before we finally do start to see a drying period. I think we'll see enough sunshine as well during the day tomorrow to allow temperatures to get into the 90s. What helped us out was the fact that we did get a bit more cloudiness on the northern side of the storm, keeping us under mostly cloudy to almost overcast skies, especially early in the day, preventing us from even getting into the 90s. So thankfully, it was also a milder day today. We'll have a few spotty to scattered showers during the afternoon or morning, afternoon, and by the evening and night, I think we're drying out, and then lots of sunshine heading into our Friday and the weekend. We've started to pick up a little bit more rain from these late evening showers passing through. Almost 3/10 of an inch at Belle Chase, still only 4/100 of an inch at Kenner. The earlier amount was a trace, so we picked up 4/100 from these little passing showers. Winds are also much lighter than we were even anticipating. The winds have really settled down, and hopefully that will allow for some of the water to start draining away from the coastline, as well as after we hit high tide early tomorrow morning, we will start to see the water levels recede. Had some breezy conditions, though, during the day today. At the peak, had almost a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust at Lakefront, almost 40 miles an hour at Kenner, but the wind's much lower at the moment. That does not, I mentioned just quickly, Grand Isle at Barataria Pass, I-10 at Slidell and Lake Bourne. All high tides are either tomorrow morning or at noon. So after high tide, water levels will begin dropping. So by tomorrow afternoon and evening, the impacts from Bertha will be gone. 92 our high tomorrow, back to the lower mid-90s heading into Friday, and mostly dry this weekend.